Greetings! I'd like to show you the Ashya project that Sana and I created. First off, you'll need a Raspberry Pi. Here's a Raspberry Pi right here. I'm just in it. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to go and grab one of our Docker Compose files. You'll need Docker on the Raspberry Pi and Docker Compose. Once you have that, you can connect your Raspberry Pi to a cheap little video camera. Doesn't really matter what it is, as long as you have something. And this compose file you'll download, and it's going to run about 4 different containers. To run those, we'll just run docker compose up-d, and this will start our service. This might take a little while to download. Since I already have the images downloaded on my Raspberry Pi, it won't take as long. You may need like a USB key inside of the Raspberry Pi just for some cache or for some swap space, but for the most part this works well. It's waiting for the MQTT service to come up before it launches the other services. One service is the YOLO service, and the YOLO service is going to do image detection through the Raspberry Pi camera, and then it's going to forward those images, what it detects in JSON using MQTT, into the collector, and the collector is going to interface with the blockchain. So now that it's up, we'll go and access the GUI. So we'll see what the IP address of this Raspberry Pi is, and it looks like it is 192.168.1.3. So I can just go here in my web browser, and you'll see that it's already starting to say, hey, welcome to the Ashya device. So we're actually creating a device here. It's already detected that I'm signed into MetaMask. Here I am, and it shows my account there, and it shows the money. This isn't real money. This is the Kovan test network. And what I can do is I can actually create a device for this, or a contract for this device. So I go through here, and I'll give the device a name, and I'll call it my street view camera. It's just street view camera. You can call it whatever you want, but it just gives some ideas so people can search for it. And then you can tell where it's located in. In this case, I'm located in Portland, Oregon. You can really just fill in whatever you want here. And if you have a place where people can find out more about your device and what you're doing, then you can add that in. So in my case, I'll just put ashya.io. But if I had a bunch of different devices and I wanted to have my own page for these, I would put that here. Now I can go to next. And so it has all the names and stuff. Now what I can do is I can create the contract by using this command. This will now create a contract on the blockchain. It's telling me that the cost to do this is about 17 cents in Ethereum. So that's pretty cheap. So I will do that. So now it has submitted this to the blockchain, to the Ethereum blockchain, and we'll wait for that to go. Okay, so it did actually register to the blockchain now, and it even gave me the contract address. So if I click here, then this will open up where this device was actually created. So it's a contract address right here. I could go through and put code, but this shows you the code where it was. The code is actually available at the Ashya GitHub page. I'll show you that in a minute. But now that I have my device registered, what I can do is now that I've created my device contract, people can now actually enter into a contract with my device by subscribing to my data streams. So right now my camera is pointed at some place and it's taking pictures and it's showing the different things that are there. So if I look at it, at this point we're not actually showing the pictures of what it is, though we have done that in the past. But I can go through and say, okay, what is it actually seeing right now? And so I can use the YOLO container that I created, and these are all the different things that it's seeing. So apparently it's seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 people or so, and this is actually downstairs in my living room. So it's just seeing all these different people here, so I can see that, and it has some level of certainty of how much that it's actually seeing people in here. So that's pretty cool. And as people are coming in and out, it's actually registering this. And what can happen is people can actually subscribe to this data stream if they want to see what's actually happening in this point where I'm at using the blockchain. So right now they don't know about this. Most people don't know about this device, and so what we've created is we've created a central registry where people can register their device, and this is at Ashya.io. Here's an example. These are a couple of the different contracts that have been created in the past. They have examples, and this is all on the blockchain. So what I can do is I can say register device, and it costs $5 to register this device to the registry. So I say confirm, so I just pay that amount, and it's all being done in Ethereum. And so this will register the device on the Ashya.io that we'll see in a little bit. So I'll just wait for this to go. It looks like it got 13 confirmation numbers. Usually you wait until there's about 20 or so before it goes through and says that it worked well. So it's just going through right now at the moment. And this actually went through to the Ashya the Ashya registry, which also has its own contract, which is what was called. So if I go over to this Ashya contract, you can see the different transactions. This is when it was created. And then the internal transactions, these are ones where people actually called the contract, or they called something on it. And so in this case, just 19 seconds ago, I went through and I wanted to add my device to it. And so I can go back and see, you can see that we didn't really give you too much information that it did do it, but it did. So now I go to here and I can refresh this page, and you'll see at the bottom that once it goes out to the blockchain and grabs the data, you'll see that it grabbed my new device has been added to the registry. So the device is added. We created a contract for that fairly simply. Now that it's up, what will happen is people will want to go and actually subscribe to my data streams. And so the registry provides an easy way for people to do that. So here's the one that I added down here, number 9. So what I can do is I can click on it, and then I can say I would like you to call, I would like you to actually send data to my stream. So right now there's no current subscribers, nobody's subscribed to this data stream. To do that, I would create an address where people can subscribe to. And so I have this, we have a test one called callback.ashya.io, which will accept post requests, which is what will happen. So so this is a third party person. This is somebody who's interested in your data, and he subscribes to it. And by doing so, he will actually have to pay money to subscribe to your data. So he pays you about $5 in this case to subscribe to the data. So he does that, and that contract goes through. Meanwhile, back here on your device, you'll see that the YOLO is the program that detects images and then sends those images to the messaging queue. The messaging queue in turn turns it to the Ashya RPI, to the RPI collector, the Raspberry Pi collector. So I can see what's happening here by following this. And what you'll see here is that he's receiving all the messages that the YOLO, or the object detection service, was getting. And then once he gets that, he actually goes through and he takes that data and he sends it to the callback.ashya, or whoever subscribed to it. So now he's actually sending the data to different subscribers. That's really the bulk of the project, or this proof of concept. The idea is that people can subscribe to different data streams, and all the transactions can be happening decentralized they're all decentralized through this Ashya service. The Ashya registry is really just a registry where people can see what's happening, or they can view the different services available. But when we added our URL to this device, we actually entered into a contract directly with this address itself. So you can see the internal transaction is when somebody actually paid money to subscribe to it. So this is a subscription that happened. So we get exchange ways that way. Okay, well that is the Ashya service, a quick demo, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.